Hi everybody, welcome back to another lesson in my Czerny's Opus 599 for Solo Learners course. In this video we're going to learn number 30. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to get this special edition of Czerny's Opus 599 specifically for solo learners, you'll find links in the description below. Number 30, just like number 29, is still about phrasing and giving you more and more challenging contexts for phrasing. So not just a slur starting at the beginning of the bar and ending at the end, but kind of going from the end of a bar into the beginning of another bar, which is quite difficult when the slurs happen at different places in the two hands. The left hand is again playing an accompaniment broken chord with a held first note in every bar, and the right hand is playing a fairly easy melody. The only difficulty is the added 16th notes or semiquavers, which need to be counted properly. So we are in 3/4, so 3 quarter note beats in every bar, and we're in C major, so no sharps and no flats, and the piece is in 3 sections. We have a first section until the repeat sign, then we have a second section where the pattern changes a little bit. The left hand has some rotation, the right hand has legato staccato, and in the third section the left hand returns from the first section, but the right hand is going to add some beautiful running scales to make it more interesting. So let's start with the first section, A section. Left hand is going to start in the C position in the treble clef, so middle C. Let's block out the chords without playing the pattern first. So the first bar is a C major chord, 1, 3, 5. The second bar and third bar is still a C major chord, 1, 3, 5. And bar 4 moves into a G major chord, B, D, G, 1, 3, 5. Bar 5 is the same, bar 6 is the same, bar 7 moves down, G, D, F, a G7 chord, 1, 2, 5 again, and back to C major. When you play these broken chords, evenness is critical. You have to be able to keep it moving and flowing from beginning to end without any slowdowns or hesitations, little hiccups here and there, and the bottom note needs to be sustained. So have a very rounded hand shape. The wrist should feel very, very soft. And we're going to play with the fingertips and going 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now this is a more restrictive position because number 5 is glued down onto the C, and you have to move 1 and 3 without being able to move the hand up and down like the usual rotation we do. So it's a little bit harder to play these broken chords where one note is being sustained, but you still need to have that freedom and flexibility of the wrist as much as you can. So it's 8th notes all the way through, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and B and 2 and 3 and B and 2 and 3 and G and 2 and 3 and C. And in the final bar we don't need to sustain the C, a little bit of a difference there. Now in the notation you see an 8th note going up and the dotted half note or dotted minim is going down. You don't need to play the first note twice, like it's basically just showing you that there are 2 parts going on, one which is in 8th notes and one which is a held dotted half note. So the C is only once at the start of each bar. Right hand, starting number 2 on the G. Now be very careful here. First of all, the rhythm is 1, 2, tiri tiri 1, 2. So the tiri tiri, the 4 16th notes or semiquavers have to fit into one beat. 1, 2, tiri tiri 1, 2, tiri tiri 1, 2, 3. Many times I hear this piece going like this: 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2. So the 16th notes or semiquavers become 8th notes or quavers. Don't do that. They have to fit into one beat. So ultimately the speed of the 16th note is going to dictate how fast you can play this piece and how fast your starting speed should be. If you can't play the 16th notes very quick, then make sure you start slow enough with the 8th notes and quarter notes so that you are able to fit in those 16th notes. Also watch out for the slurs. They start on the 3rd beat of each bar. So 1 lift, connect, lift, connect, G, 2, lift, 1, 2, 1, 2, number 3, and finishing on the C. So again, lots of ledger lines, but these two pieces, number 29 and number 30, are adding these so you get used to the ledger lines. Remember, the second ledger line on the top is the C, the third one is the E, and the fourth one is the high G. So once again, the difficulty here in the right hand is that lift, especially when you put it together. Don't do this. 1, 2, connect, and lift. So these 16th notes need to be connected to the G, and that's going to be quite a big stretch. Some hands will feel much more comfortable 5, 4, 5, 4, 2, or 5, 3, 5, 3, 2. Again, fingering is a suggestion only. If you find something is more comfortable than the ones in the book, by all means go with it as long as you can maintain the slurs and the integrity of the piece. Before we add it together, again, just with the right hand, remember lots of arm movement, lots of wrist movement to follow the shape of the melody and make it nice and dynamic. We don't have any dynamics indications, but it's a beautiful melody and you want to add to it as much as you can to make it more expressive. And these slurs, especially the 2-note slurs, should be strong and light. So strong, light. Strong, light. So the thumb shouldn't be very strong because that's the weak beat. The second beat is the weak beat. So we want to accent the first beat in every bar. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, lift. And lots of finger substitutions. Hands together. So left hand is going to hold the C. 1 and 2 and. And that's the first 4 bars. So what can go wrong? First thing is, as I said, the rhythm, where you turn those 16th notes into 8th notes. Don't do that. So 1 and 2 and 2 of these for each left hand. The second thing that can go wrong is the slurs. So right hand lifts, left hand stays. Left hand lifts, right hand connects. Right hand lifts. Left hand lifts, right hand connects. Left hand lifts, right hand stays connected. They both lift. Lift. And there we are. So it's so difficult to do those lifts because they don't happen at the same time and you really have to concentrate to get it right. You can play the piece fairly quickly without the slurs, just learning the notes and the rhythms, but adding in those slurs correctly is going to take a much longer time and lots of concentration. Second section. The left hand is going to start with these rotational broken chords. So we have the first chord, D, G, B, 1, 2, 5, and the second chord in bar 10 is going to be D, A, C, so a D7 chord, 1, 2, 5. Now this is going to be a rotation because we go right, left, kind of doing almost like a rocking movement, like opening a doorknob. You have to get that movement, otherwise the wrist is going to get too stiff if you keep it in one position and try to play it from the fingers. It it's really sore already. So trying to do that nice rotation to release the tension from the wrist. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Bar 13. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. GB. And again, really watching the evenness so it stays nice and even all the way through. Right hand, we're starting on the B and D, 2, 4, and we have to do a legato going to the 1, 3. So 2, 4, lift up the 2 and 1, 3. 2, 4, lift up the 2 and connect. So only one note is really connected. It's called a half legato, or you can, some people do it and then staccato, but try to keep down that number 4 and connect. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Staccato, change to 1, and the repeated notes. Alternate your finger number on those repeated notes. You can slow down a little bit and quiet down a bit in anticipation of the third section. Hands together, keeping the left hand very legato and right hand watching those staccatos. 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, staccato. And we're back to the third section. So as I said, in the third section, the left hand is exactly the same as at the start. So I'm not going to talk about those too much, but the right hand has these beautiful scales, which again is 1, tiri, 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 1, tiri, 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 1. So we have 2 beats of 16th notes or semiquavers. Starting on the G, and we're going to do a balancing, so thumb and then E coming down the scale and jumping back to the G with number 1. So 1, tiri, 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 1. And the jump is okay because a new slur is starting, so it's almost like repeating 3 times. And when you come down the scale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Just like a standard C major scale, but starting on the E. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1. And here, you can either put 1 or do 3, 1, 2, 3, or you could do 1, 3, a finger substitution. Then F number 1 and D number 5. 3 and crossing the thumb under, going up on the scale. And 4, 2, 1, 2, finishing on that C. Hands together. Remember, 2 16th notes for each 8th note in the left hand. Going up the scale and down to the G7, connecting the right hand. And that's the end. So quite a lengthy piece with different challenges in the first, second and third section, but it's a really good one again for articulation and phrasing. If you have any more questions about this piece, leave them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, subscribe for more.